It's Thursday, and that means I have just a thought for you. And this is like a thought / testimony. I wanted to share this because it really was a life-changing moment that ushered me into 2023 that I just really wanted to share with you guys. So for those who are tithers, and even for those who don't tithe, maybe you don't believe in tithing, whatever your belief preference is, what have you, I think this story is still applicable. So over the last several years, I've been an inconsistent tither. I wasn't making the money that I really wanted to make for several years when I lived here in Atlanta. And, you know, when money is funny, you try to hold on to as much of it as you can to just be able to pay your bills and make it. I don't know if I'm the only one that has felt that way, but that was my situation. So, you know, going into this year, I have been praying. I said, Lord, you know, I want to get better with tithing. Like, I want to be a consistent tither. There are things that I want access to in my life. There are things that I'm believing you for. But I also know that part of that is not going to come unless I'm willing to give you what's not even mine, because it's your money anyway. So convict me in the area of tithing when I am inconsistent or when I'm deciding that I don't want to do it. And so very recently, I got paid and I was sitting there ruminating about, you know, I want to tithe. Like my spirit man said, tithe, girl. You know what to do. But my mind said, girl, you got these bills over here. And if you pay that tithe, you're going to be out of that money over there. So how you going to pay that? And every single debt that I have, it's so weird how the enemy works. Every piece of debt that I have came to my mind at that time. Like if I paid my tithe, all of a sudden I couldn't pay off all the debt that I've accrued over the course of my life, which wasn't going to happen anyway in one day. It's crazy how the mind works. So I sat there and I said, no, the fact that it's on my heart to give, the fact that I know what I want to do, the fact that I've been praying about this and God is bringing it to my spirit and my heart to give and to tithe, I'm going to do it. So I made the decision to do it, right? So I paid my tithe. I let go of the feelings about, oh, I'm out of this money, blah, blah, blah. I let all that go, okay? And so a couple days later, I was just checking my bank account, just looking over some stuff. And I was like, something's off. There was an extra like $1,020 in my bank account. And I was like, where is this coming from? So I was checking to make sure all my bill payments went through. Cause you know, when you pay bills over the holidays and weekends, sometimes they don't clear for a couple of days till like the weekday comes. So I looked and I said, no, that cleared. And I looked and there was a deposit there. And the deposit, y'all, was from the dentist's office. Now I got a lot of dental work done in 2022. And I have good dental insurance, thankfully. But, you know, the insurance, you have to wait for it to be applied. So there's money that you pay up front. And then when your insurance is applied, you hope that you don't owe anything. Typically, if insurance is applied, you're going to owe. No one's going to give you a credit back of anything. Y'all, and I complained down. I complained so much about the dentist. It was unbelievable. All last year, I got to go to get this done. This is costing me money. Rah! Didn't even know I was making an investment into a blessing that I would see several months later. I got a refund from the dentist's office for $1,021. And I just said, Lord, I said, thank you. And I know that every time I tithe, I'm not going to get money unexpectedly. Sometimes tithing is an opportunity for you to open the floodgates of overflow for provision in your life in whatever way you need. But what God was showing me is just be obedient. Just do what I'm calling you to do. Follow up on your own prayers and the things that you seek me for. Do your part. I've always got you. And so I say, whether it's tithing, whether you're believing God for something else in your life, if there's an area where you've strayed, where this is a great time to come back to some of the promises that you made to God. We always talk about God's promises for us. And they exist and they're great, right? And we have the opportunity to tap into them and we have access. But let's talk about our promises to God. What promises have we made? What prayers have we prayed that we're not following up on and doing our part for? Sometimes the delay or the lack that we have in our lives is simply because we didn't follow up and do our part on what we promised God we would do or what we petitioned him to help us do. Let's do our part. So the lesson I learned from that is just do your part, Sharí. I clearly put it in my word about what I will do for you if you do your part. Just a thought. Want to hear more of my thoughts? You can check out my podcast. It's called Just a Thought with Sharí Nycole. It is available right now on all digital streaming platforms. And you can also check out my Instagram, Twitter, same handle, @Sharí_Nycole, SHARI_NYCOLE.